扶齊嘅先生，麻煩你哋出去。我同你啲大花大爺幫手扶齊嘅先生有冇？可唔可以冇扶齊先生應該幫到扶齊？冇嘢同你講。
參觀佢嘅葬禮。我個名係李振陽，我爸爸嘅名咧係李業波先生。我爸爸咧佢喺中國潮陽里都府廣東出世。佢出世嗰日咧係9月17號啲927年。佢過咗身咧喺禮拜六6月23號2012年。我爸爸有3個家姐同埋1個大哥，佢個個都已經過咗身。我爸爸係最細嘅、最後生嘅仔。爸爸喺嗰陣時咧，廣東係中國嘅東西嘅地方，近住香港同埋好多我爸爸嗰陣時咧結婚好後生，佢多數喺23歲咁上下。我媽媽咧22歲，咁佢哋結咗婚1年咧，佢已經出咗香港。嗰個時間係多數係1951年。咁出去香港5、6年咁上下咧，即係1956年，佢哋已經有3個有3個仔女，係2個女同埋1個仔。咁爸爸嗰陣時咧好難，香港揾唔到工做。佢知道喺南美叫做委內瑞拉嗰度有啲親戚同埋同村嗰度做，所以佢去咗委內瑞拉去揾工。咁佢去到委內瑞拉嗰陣時咧，一嘅錢都冇嘅。佢好勤力，所以佢做好多乜嘢工都做。咁佢做慢慢咁慳咗啲錢咧，佢寄翻去香港俾佢仔女同老婆。咁佢去委內瑞拉去咗7年咧，佢可以咧慳夠錢咧，佢即係開餐館同夾住其他老友咁開到中國嘅餐館。咁7年後咧就多數係1963年咁上下咧，佢成家人喺香港攞咗去委內瑞拉嗰個法國加拉達斯。咁喺委內瑞拉咧到咗1963年，再加2年咧，即係1965年咧，佢有個細嘅仔出世。咁佢細嘅仔出咗世咧，2個月以後，佢即刻已經可以搬咗去中國美國嘅Arizona 省嘅 Phoenix Arizona。因為咧我爸爸有3姐，佢家姐咧係第3家姐即係申請。我成家人喺委內瑞拉去Phoenix Arizona住。咁去到Phoenix Arizona嗰陣時咧，因為好多數係1966年咁上下，我哋大家人去住2年，即係至1968年咧，我哋去咗加省 San Jose California。咁喺加省嗰度，爸爸點樣理由去咧？因為佢喺嗰度又開餐館，佢同2個老友佢識同埋其他人，總共3個人夾開嘅 酒店叫做獨龍酒家去San Jose California。咁佢好勤力，一日做工成10幾個鐘頭做工。我哋媽媽係幫佢一樣做，所以好少時間佢揾佢同佢仔女去玩嘢或者去遊覽，因為真係冇時間。但係記得咧有一次最好嘅遊覽係去墨西哥。嗰一次咧墨西哥我哋記得去一個細嘅島仔，個島仔你俾嘅即係唔使錢你就咁走。我爸爸媽媽兩個人一樣飲2杯，咁飲就醉咗啦。咁要翻嚟佢建議食晚飯。咁第二佢出嚟咧，聽日出嚟又去第二個墨西哥嘅城市。我爸爸咧食嘢食得唔錯，佢個肚真係好唔舒服，佢日要去即係去廁所好犀利，就可以咧再超過日咧，我個個翻嚟美國，從久以前唔敢翻去墨西哥。咁咧因為我爸爸時做好多嘅時間做工咧，所以我哋個個啲仔女都好勤力，個個讀咗書，個個畢業喺大學畢業。但係咧1982年嗰陣時咧，我媽媽過身，但係我爸爸繼續做餐館喺San Jose做，同時可以翻去去溫哥水啦，又睇到個餐館。咁喺過2年以後咧，1984年咁上下，佢爸爸再結咗婚，咁我一路繼續喺San Jose住到2007年。咁佢先去怡浮Stockton California 住，佢喺Stockton California 過身。咁而家咧我當然係因為佢好佢即係好勤力嘅人，我好記得佢，我一定會想住佢，從而家開始。但係我講完咧，而家我第2個人講咧係我細妹嘅仔叫做 Christopher， 佢嚟講英文。佢講完咧，咁第2個人講咧係我大表哥叫做李飛文先生。李飛文先生講完喺講堂話，佢講完堂話咧，咁我嘅大家姐嘅大女叫 Michelle 可以同你講英文。咁而家我講英文。They came out to San Jose, California, because my dad had a restaurant he started there. There were a couple of old buddies from Venezuela, plus the son that he met, who was a partner from Venezuela. The son happened to be graduate of UC Berkeley in electrical engineering. So he got one of his buddies who was also an electrical engineer from IBM. At the time, San Jose, now it's Hitachi. So those two, plus my dad, became partners and formed a restaurant in San Jose and have the restaurant named after the Green Dragon. Since my dad worked long hours, and my mom too at the time, there really wasn't time for us to travel or see anything on vacation. But I do remember a couple of outings, mainly one to Great America, which still exists in Santa Clara. We rode a roller coaster and so forth. We enjoyed ourselves. And also another time was to Marine World, Africa, USA. That was the Red City at the time. I believe it's in Vallejo now. We went there, and they especially enjoyed the whale and dolphin show. But the most memorable vacation we had as a family was when I was in probably junior in high school. We all went to Acapulco, Mexico City, as well as a small town famous for silver mining, Taxco, Mexico. Well, in Acapulco, we made a side trip to a small island where they gave you complimentary drinks with, little umbrellas in them. Well, my dad and mom both had two. It was hot and humid, and they were out of commission all afternoon. They kind of had to sleep it off in the hotel. And the next day, we went to Taxco, where they had mining. Well, my dad ate something that didn't agree with him, so he ended up going to the bathroom one night. So next day, or a couple of days later, we came back to the U.S., and I don't think we ever wanted to go back. since my dad is so busy working, so all his 4 kids are also busy studying. And fortunately, I'm sure my dad and mom were very proud of us. We all managed to graduate and get a college degree at one time or another. So I'm sure he is still proud of us. But I would say that my dad, even though as hard as work, he does have a few hobbies, among which is gardening. He grew some Chinese winter melon, a lot of peaches, peas, and apricots, pears, and all that's in the backyard in San Jose. And in closing, my dad also spoke fluent Spanish because he lived in Venezuela for a long time. And for those of us that are old enough to remember, he reminded me of a Chinese Desi Arnaz who played the role of Ricky Ricardo in I Love Lucian. But instead of leading a musical band, my dad orchestrated the working of busy restaurants and kitchens, and he certainly knows the ingredient of success. I will miss them. We will all miss them. Thank you. Now, Christopher, if you can come up and say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Bill. I'm Christopher Wanso. I'm the grandfather. My mom is the youngest daughter of Mr. Lee Yik Po. There was a generational gap, I guess. I was the first generation here, so it was definitely hard to communicate. Language barrier. I never learned Cantonese, unfortunately, so it was rather difficult to communicate with him. But I still have memories of him, mainly of family gatherings during Christmas and other holidays. Those were the main memories that I have of him. And also there was dinners that I went to that I remember Fong Lung's, when it was still in existence in Campbell. I think that was when it was, they were restaurants, I believe. As my uncle said, he was a great chef, so he loved food. Lots of food. And other memories that I have of him is him playing mahjong. He loved playing that a lot. And I learned how to play basic skills, but obviously I was no match for him. That was my effort, I guess, to try to learn Chinese culture and to kind of go back to the roots. Still trying to do that, but it's difficult. But yeah, as my uncle said, he did move from San Jose to Stockton later on. And it was more difficult to see him towards the holidays especially. But I did see him several times out in Stockton, and he did play mahjong, so he will definitely be missed. Definitely missed. Thank you.
各位親友，今日係我叔父出殯嘅日子，我帶着沉痛嘅心情上嚟講幾句説話，以表達我對叔父一點嘅敬意同懷念。我叔父係一位好好嘅先生，佢無論對家庭對朋友都非常關懷同堅固，佢係好受人歡迎而敬重嘅長輩。我叔初期係由香港移民去到委內瑞拉，同朋友喺嗰度創立一間嘅農餐館。 由於佢係刻苦勤勞、勤奮、經驗有方，受到當地嘅顧客係十分歡迎。因此佢餐館嘅生意發展得十分成功。當年我叔父係為咗俾兒女升學，全家又移民嚟到美國，後來定居喺散路四。我叔係一個事業好重，而創業嘅語言係並不優子。後來佢又同朋友嗰位劉先生創辦第二間嘅餐館。佢就要每一年從美國到威爾瑞拉來回兩邊走。佢嘅刻苦經營、深入嘅工作係令人敬佩。咁嗰陣時，我剛剛係移民嚟到美國，正所謂初到貴境，前路茫茫。當其時，好彩我叔父提攜，帶領我進入餐館呢個行業。感謝佢悉心嘅指導，使我有一技之能可以立足喺美國，我實在非常感激。今日我同我家人喺度再次表達對叔父是萬分嘅敬意。佢雖然係離開我哋，但係佢個榜樣精神係永遠值得我哋懷念。最後，我願叔父在天之靈永遠安息。
Good morning, family and friends. My name is Michelle. I'm Paul's eldest granddaughter. I'm the eldest daughter of Paul's eldest daughter, Sharon. My earliest memory of my grandfather was when I was about 4 years old. I remember I was taken to watch hot air balloons launch at a location that I'm not quite sure about. I remember that the burners that heat the air to inflate the balloons were really, really loud. I was scared of the loud sound, and I ended up burying my face in my grandfather's shoulders. Every year we celebrate Christmas Eve at grandfather's house in San Jose, and it was always my mom and dad, my sister Lisa, Auntie Karen, Uncle Lucian, my cousins Chris and Nicole, Uncle Bill and Uncle Larry. And I remember that my grandfather spent the majority of his time in Caracas tending to his restaurant business, but he always made it home in time for the holidays. The dinner table was huge, had a lazy Susan on it, and it was always overflowing with food. And after dinner was my favorite time because we'd exchange our gifts, and slowly the living room floor would turn into a sea of wrapping paper and gift boxes. I remember my grandfather would often look upon the festivities sitting on the steps that led down to the living room. Another memory I have is of my grandfather sitting in his recliner, wearing a white t-shirt and sweatpants, watching Chinese opera on TV. I remember the singer's voice was really, really loud and high-pitched, as is usually the case with Chinese opera. And he was looking at the screen with a really, really displeased look on his face. He didn't seem to be enjoying it at all. But he said something in Cantonese, to which my Aunt Karen translated, "He said she sounds good." And my sister and I giggled because that didn't describe his opinion at all. Sorry, the look on his face didn't describe his opinion at all. I remember my grandfather to be a tall, handsome, and well-dressed man. I remember he drove a dark brown Buick with soft plush interior. I have many other fond memories of him growing up. And even though, as Chris had mentioned, we didn't speak the same language, his boisterous personality really came out in his eyes, his smile, his voice, his laugh. We will miss him. Thank you.
Okay. One more coming. Not yet. Forget. Yo. Okay, be careful. Don't panic. And the first
Okay, I just want to say a couple of words. My dad is not a religious man, but I think he would appreciate the standard verse from Psalm 23. Let me just read it for you. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness. For his name's sake, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Ye anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Thank you.
I'm gonna take your gloves off. You can take your gloves off. Oh, you can. Hold on to all that. I'm gonna take your gloves off.
Yeah.
off to the restaurant we go now. The main ceremonies are over and we are driving to the restaurant in Delhi City.